This episode of The Jeff Adams Show is brought to you by BitGravity. For mission-critical events, trust BitGravity by visiting bitgravity.com for more information. And by NewTek, makers of the TriCaster 40. Stun your viewers, not your accountant. Visit newtek.com for more information. And by GoDaddy. If you need a domain name or you need hosting, trust GoDaddy.com and use promo code JEFF199 at checkout.
We are live, baby, for the Jeff Adams Show White Trash Christmas Special. You know, I started these White Trash Christmas Specials a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, if you can believe that or not. But on the Jeff Adams Show, we just sometimes just shoot the breeze. Sometimes we get serious. Sometimes we cry. Not today. It's a special day. It's Christmas. And sometimes we just get emotional and cry. No, we're not going to cry. But in any event, this is our last show of the freaking year. This is episode 33 of the Jeff Adams Show, which I'm really, really happy and sad. I took my medication today, so I'm okay. But I'm happy and sad all in the same time that we just did 33 shows this year. That's pretty good. We could have hit it out of the ballpark. We could have did like 50, but, you know, stuff happens. And here we are live, TTB Network and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood in Virginia. Streaming on the FM station there. And also we're taking live calls today, 347-637-2596. Also be patient with the phone calls because guess what? I'm screening the calls and I'm hosting the show. Go figure. Got a producer, Stephen Haywood, the Wizard of Broadcast Magic, producing the show today. And I'm excited. I mean, you're talking about a legend of internet broadcasting. I have again for the second week in a row, the one and only big man Ray Petty, a.k.a. Ron Fox. What is up, my man?
I'm feeling really special for this white trash Christmas special here. And, you never know who's going to call in. I've got some people that don't make a whole lot of money, a little disability, little Social Security income. You know, they're going to appreciate it. They just went down to the local shop where they got a little internet connection so they can actually be part of it. And I gave them a number, and we're going to make this real today.
We're going to make it realer than real.
Hey,
you
actually,
know,
good to see you, brother.
Yeah, man, it's good to see you. I'm so thankful that you agreed to come on the show again because it's hard to do a show, host a show, with not having anybody to interact with. So I really appreciate your time, making time to be a part of this special occasion, the White Trash Christmas Special. And, you know, years ago, like I said earlier, I started the White Trash Christmas Special on Blog TV. And I thought I was the man. I used to do all these little technical things with Webcam Max and go, look at me, I got a green screen. I got Rudolph in the background. So it's kind of carried on over the years. It's tradition of what I used to do. I used to do the Sam 700 show, which was a music broadcast show about me working in the music industry and all that boring crap. But you can't get any more white trash on this. I actually have this fungus on my finger ever since from Haiti. I went to a dermatologist and they checked it out. And they said, hey, it's not, we don't know what it is. And so it cleared up. They gave me some cream. Then all of a sudden, again, a week and a half ago.
Can you hold it up to the camera again?
Yeah, it's got Band-Aids on it. But
looks like a dying cactus out here in the middle of the desert from this angle.
Exactly. But the thing that sucks about this, I haven't even opened it up. It's been on for 48 hours, but it was like destroying my finger to the point where it's, when you have something on your finger, like I'm really this crazy guy about being clean. And like, if you touch dollar bills, I have that hand sanitizer. It just burns the heck out of your fingers. And you try to wash your hands. And if you have some kind of crap on your finger, the worst part of your body is to have it on one of your fingers because, especially on your right hand, you know, because you do a lot with right hand.
Sure. The southpaw, you're okay.
So I think I'm going to take this off tonight and see where I'm at. If it's still really bad, I'm going to have to go back to the dermatologist again and get this checked out. But it's just weird. I don't know what it is, but you can't get any more white trash than that. I mean, I'm wearing a jacket and a shirt that's probably 10 years old that I actually love. It's so comfortable. It's got the BO stains, and I'm wearing a jacket. So white trash, Merry Christmas to you. How are you doing, Juan Fox? Are you done with all your Christmas shopping?
Done. Well, you know, I started Christmas shopping a long time ago. I mean, 90% of my shopping now is done online. Who cares about Black Friday? I'm getting deals all year long. There's a reason I do it. Number one, you can't go shopping in the malls in your underwear. But bottom line is, I'm relaxed when I'm shopping. I know where to shop. I know what to do. I'm 6'10". I know where to get my own special stuff for my own special clothes, and I'm smart enough to email the links to the people that want to buy me something. And in the meantime, it's all drop shipped anyway, and it's all paid for, and it's all done, as opposed to people that still want to go out and battle in the stores and go to Black Friday. And if you're stupid enough to go to a Walmart and lay something away, I saw 20 people standing in line over a 2-hour period that did not get their layaways because things were missing. The boxes were broken into. They couldn't find stuff. And this is people that have been paying on layaways for 5 or 6 months, ready to get their Christmas together. And these stores, more than one, just completely obliterated that layout procedure. So I like doing what I do. I'm in control of it. All said and done. In answer to your question, I've been ready.
Yeah. So you're saying, I guess you're buying stuff for yourself. You're a big guy. You're 6'10". I'm 6'5", probably about 250. So you buy your clothes online? Is that what you do?
Well, I do now. Yeah. I mean, unless I want to get a really nice suit. So I go to a tailor up in Scottsdale that also happens to clothe the NBA. But, let's face it. We're big guys. We know what we take. We know what we want. I'm getting down to distributors and brand names now, so I know how the things are cut. And, so, it's all good. I no problem at all.
I have the hardest time finding shirts because I'm in that in between. I'm an XLT.
Right.
Extra long and tall. So a lot of stores, man, you know that when you're a big guy, you know the model. Each brand has a different size and different fit, so you just can't find these shirts anywhere. So I go on these, binges, the big and tall shop, if I buy clothes, you have to buy one t-shirt that costs $50 because it's an XLT.
Another reason I shop online, because I can find those same shirts for $24.95.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to take care of you and send you some Christmas links.
I know that'd be great, man. But I'm over my budget. That's one of the main things I told family members. I said, don't buy me shirts. I mean, because they would buy me a double XL. I mean, it would look like a tube top from the 80s.
6'10", 310, 320, the light 320.
Yeah.
Hey, I got you an extra large. How does that fit? I said, well, it's in my shirt pocket for a handkerchief. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, so do you have all the Christmas lights up and decorated and everything?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's all done. I've got out in the front. The trees are up. All the tinsel, I did a little bit. As Jen and myself, it's our first Christmas, so we had a little fun with it. Outside, I've got the reindeer and the Santa Claus and the lights and the windows and the bushes have the netting and the trees are all wrapped up. And I go much higher than the neighbors unless they had a professional landscaper come in and get on a crane. And I also have the proverbial Christmas tree cactus with the cowboy hat, the red cowboy hat on top. So yeah, we're okay this year.
Nice. Well, let me get to this. I mean, we're talking about Christmas. We want to stay in the Christmas spirit, but there's something that happened to you. Speaking of, here's my segue. Speaking of lights, you saw something that was, pretty much transformed your world last week. I mean, you were all over Facebook talking about this. People thought you fell off the rocker, man. What did you see out in the desert?
That's true. And you know what? I have a disclaimer. What I'm going to tell you, I was in complete control of my senses. I was as clean as a freshly sprayed Windexed glass. And I've wanted to see something that would resemble a UFO most of my life. And we were out in the middle of the desert. And first of all, let me tell you this. A lot goes on out here. It's a high activity. Southwest is a high activity area for UFOs. And I'm not so conceited to think that we're the only race in the world. I think that we're some type of a hybrid race that was developed by much higher intelligence and placed here, and they're guiding us through this thing we call Earth. But I will tell you that out here in the Southwest, again, it's an area of lots of things. But also out here, we have air bases that are doing the drones. You see a little bit about the Amazon drones. I already know what drones look like. I've seen them a million times. I'm well aware of what helicopters and jets and planes look like. And I did a thing yesterday on Facebook about all the chemtrails that were going on out here. Chemtrails everywhere. These planes were flying for hours. I drove 30 miles north, and every step of the way, I could look up and see a jet blowing out streams of
Well,
whatever.
explain chemtrails to people that don't know what chemtrails are.
Well, it's a lot of speculation. Is it heavy metals in the exhaust? It's it's first of all, it's not a jet or a plane exhaust. The smoke dissipates pretty quickly, as opposed to the old Skyriders back in the day. But you'll see planes, they were doing checkered flights, if you will, checkered patterns, and this stuff was just dissipating all over the air. And you have to look it up. Read up on chemtrails. It could be a lot of things. But getting back to your question, so I know the difference between what I see. So we're out in the middle of the desert, and I've got my Harley, and I got Jen 150cc scooter, which goes 60 miles an hour, and I took her for a ride because she just got her passed her test to get her learner's permit, if you will, and then she's got to go take her test. And it's only a scooter, but still. So we're out there, and I'm riding, and we're coming up to a stop out in the middle of the desert, nothing but us, land, and cactus, nothing. And it's about 4:15 in the afternoon. Something catches my eye, and I look to the right, about 45-degree angle up in the air, and something's coming. It's up high, but it's like coming toward us, not toward us, but coming in our direction, pretty well up there. And the sun was reflecting off of it, and that is what got my attention. And I looked at her, and I said, whoa, Jen, what the heck is that? And we watched it, and I pointed at it, and 5 to 7 seconds later, it started making a weird little gyration like this, and it went straight up, out of sight within 3 to 4 seconds. And it wasn't like, pew, like, a cartoon. It just started going up, and went faster, faster, and it went out of sight. I swear to you, on all that's holy and everything that I've ever said in my life, I'm telling you the truth. And we saw it. So I come to find out that there were other sightings that day up in Scottsdale, up in North Phoenix, and I was instructed to report it. So I said, you know what, people, don't think you're crazy. Everybody thinks about UFOs. If people say there's no life on other planets, you're absolutely crazy. But I will tell you that I did contact the UFOcenter.com, and this is the guy that's been around for 37 years. I filed the report. I had to type it up and put it on there. And if you want to see some UFO reports, check out your own state. Just go to UFOcenter.com. It's real stuff as far as reports, how many of the reports are valid or drunks or whatever. But we saw it. And, it's made me very aware and interested in alien or extraterrestrial activity or humanoid forms and all this stuff. And I had a conversation with a guy that worked for the Department of Defense for 37 years, and I can't reveal any of it now, but I'm putting together one big show to talk about different aspects of what this gentleman was telling me. And I'm not here to tell you anybody's crazy or anything else. I will say that it was very valid, the stuff that he said. It's pretty space age, the things that you see on TV. Movies tend to do things, but when you think about these crazy movies and stuff like that, a lot of these plots or storylines have some truth to them somewhere. So I'm here to tell you that this has really got me excited. And we've got a guy that lives way out in Mesa, Arizona, out in the middle of nowhere, that said it's a high activity area for things in the sky, whether it's a satellite or a rocket or a comet or a UFO. And he's got the high-powered $3,000 night vision goggles, and he promises me the hair on my arms is going to stand up when I come out to see him, and I'm going out there next week. So I'm getting a little crazy about it. I've always wanted to. I've thought about paranormal. I've thought about UFOs, but I've never done anything about it, just like most of the population. He said that out of every 20,000 people that think they've seen a UFO, only 1 or 2 file a report. So, folks, all I can tell you is quit taking fluoride, making yourself a little nerdy noggin there, and you're not doing anything about it. If you see something crazy, report it, because, it is what it is, folks. And that's all I can say. It's
not to get off the topic of white trash Christmas. This could get white trash Christmas. We're talking about Christmas lights up in the sky. But when I think I told you on Facebook in a private message, I had an experience when I was a kid. I was 11 years old. We had these pine tree forests. They were all lined up, perfectly in a row.
Okay.
So you could walk back there, and there was this place called Jones Pond. We used to go fishing all the time. So you had to walk, probably 2 miles to get to Jones Pond. So I was walking one time, and I saw a perfect black circle. And the thing about it was completely perfect. I was 11 years old. I could figure out what was perfect. And then inside, there was no, the inside of the trees, along the lines, there was these burn marks all the way down where the branches collapsed. and it was this perfect circle. So I went to go show my dad, and maybe my dad, he'll still say to this day, it's like, well, that wasn't a perfect circle, because I was 11 years old. He wanted to freak me out, but I knew what I knew what I saw. And I mean, I wish I could see it now at my age right now, because I would take pictures and all that good stuff. But the supernatural thing is a real thing. And I was just, before on the pre-show, Steven was kind of talking in our ears, talking about the Superman show. It seems like all these movies, these blockbuster movies that have come out, all have like these alien invasions going on. Now, this could be a different show from a different time. We don't want to get away from the Christmas spirit and freak people out. But, I was thinking about you, Ranch, but, because everybody knows, I believe in God and all that stuff. But I got this book a while back, because you're not crazy, Ranch. You're not crazy. All right. You're not crazy because what you saw. But I got this book. It's called The Great Deception, the Bible and the UFO Connections. Now, we could do this show, starting up in January about this, but let me tell you something. If you read in the Bible, there is so many stories of unidentified flying objects. And I believe that's how God moved when people saw these things, when you read these Bible stories. And people think you're crazy, but if you read this book, I'm telling you, it'll open your eyes to a whole, deal. Because, people talk about, when Moses and the Israelites came out of Egypt, they followed a pillar of smoke, right? This unidentified flying object they followed out of Egypt. So UFOs, you're not crazy, my man. They're very real. And I believe you 110% when you say what you saw. And we can talk more about this if you want to call in. But we're going to talk about Christmas. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this message.
Sounds good.
You're watching The Jeff Adams Show. We'll be right back.
Ah, you were hunting. That's great, great. I remember those days I used to dress up in those chicken suits. Remember that?
No, wait. He's got a gun. No!
Speaking of planes, let me just break this down to you. You ever been on a plane and someone passes gas? Why does it always, smell the same? Have you ever noticed that?
I'm gonna cut right to the chase and just get to brass tacks here. Your band sucks.
You don't like my record, do you? But everybody in the world likes my record.
Not everybody. I don't.
Everybody in the world likes my record.
What's with your accent?
All the details, all the paperwork.
Only make this jumper. Let's find out.
Get out.
Now. Okay.
Why is it all the time when you get on a plane, when someone passes gas, it always smells the same? Seriously.
The joke's on you, friend.
What the?
we are back, baby, and we're talking white trash Christmas, but we got off on a tangent talking about lights in the sky, talking about the ultimate Christmas setup in the sky with UFOs and that nature. So, but we're going to try to get you in the Christmas spirit. We don't want to freak you out too much and go, what is Jeff Adams and Ron Fox? They went off, they just jumped off the deep end and went and talked about UFOs. We're going to save that for a show in January. Hopefully Ron Fox comes back for that and we'll talk about UFOs more. Because it is a very interesting topic, and a lot of people need to know, because people say, it's all UFO. They think you're crazy and whatnot, and all this stuff. And he's got the devil horns going on, the little Def Leppard there. But yeah, let's get people in the Christmas spirit. Let's not freak them out with UFO talk. We're being invaded, my Lord. Santa Claus is an alien. No, he's not. But hopefully he's not. So, Ronch,
yes,
we talk about Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
White Trash Christmas special. We're doing all this, it's a tradition for me doing, podcasts. I always feel I have to do like these white trash thing. It's not really white trashy. I guess it is. I'm wearing a sports jacket and a old shirt I mow the lawn in. So can't get any more WT than that. So I had lunch with a friend yesterday, and have you ever been to a restaurant where you're ordering? It's kind of like fast food, but it's not. You sit down, you order your food, and they have a tip thing at the bottom, and they expect you to tip, and no one's serving you. And I always feel awkward because I put an X mark, like a tip, like, dude, you just took my order. I'm not going to give you a freaking tip, for crying out loud. I feel like this cheap individual that doesn't want to tip. Now, I do have things for mom and pop shops. I was at this place that was more corporate America yesterday. So, they get employee benefits. I'm not going to tip, but for like a mom and pop shop, I might, shop, I might, tip a dollar, a buck or two if they take my order, just because. But I mean, you always feel bad putting that X because you always wonder what the guy, the cashier, or gal thinking about you, this guy's so cheap. How come he won't give you a $2 tip? I mean, do you ever feel that way when you walk in one of these type of restaurants?
Well, sure. Even if I only got to put $1 or $2 just to make my conscience feel right, even if they didn't do anything. I mean, I look at these fast food joints. Back when I used to eat bad, you go to a Sonic drive-in, and they come up, here's your order, and they stand there and smile at you like, okay, I guess I got to tip something because you brought it out to my car. There's another place called Culver's, which is another chain out here on Southwest. I don't know how far across the country they go. Same thing. They bring it out to the car and they stare at you because you ordered something at the drive-thru, but instead of picking it up at the next window, you've got the guy or the girl at your window smiling when you either say, thank you, or give them $1 or $2. So I always do a little something. But as far as what you say, where you go and do a self-serve with a tip thing at the bottom, I consider that optional. I'm a good tipper. 18, 20% and more, up to 25 if it's exceptional service, depending upon what it is. But I don't like to be told what to do, especially if they didn't do anything. I can go to the casino on my Harrah's Diamond Club member card and sit there. And all they did was bring me water at the beginning, and I never seen them again except when they picked up the dishes. But we still tip them. Do we tip them 15, 20%? Heck no. Give them a few bucks per people at the table. So if you give $2 or $3 a head or something like that, just 4 people, they made a $12 tip. But our rule of thumb is like $2 a head. So actually my friend was my pastor at my church. He's younger than me, and I asked him the same question. He goes, yeah, I feel awkward too when that happens. And I'm not the only person that feels that, but I just, I was in a bad mood. I guess my medication did kick in, and I just said, what the heck with this? You get an X. You're taking my order. You get paid to do this. You get employee. You get all these benefits with this big corporation you work with. Why are you going to put a tip on there? Seriously. Are you getting hourly, or are you getting a waitress pay, $2.15 an hour, whatever the ridiculous amount
I don't
is?
think that, those people are getting, $14, $15 an hour for crying out loud. They need a friggin' tip. If it's a mom and pop shop, yes, you'll get my tip. If it's you're not under corporate America, you'll get my tip.
Well, let me ask you a question.
I'm not cheap.
Clearly you don't like pressure. And that's okay. But let me ask you a question. When you come to the freeway exit and you see that guy with the sign, and you see the cars in front of you, and you see the light turning yellow, and you think to yourself, am I going to be the guy that's sitting right there next to go through the red light, so I got to stare at this guy for the next 2 minutes with the sign, or am I going to be 4 or 5 cars down away from him? And I know that if he starts walking toward me, surely that light's going to change before he gets to my car. Have you ever felt that way?
I mean, do you even feel like you're God in those situations? You start judging the person. You know what I'm saying? You start judging the person. You have no place.
Angel? Is this guy an angel? Am I really going to help him?
Yeah.
I look at him and he's wearing brand new LeBron James sneakers. I'm like, forget it, and I move on.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes I feel compelled, but I haven't in the past. Probably, I'm gonna be honest. Probably in the past 4 years, I haven't. You know, I just because I guess I'm something I deal with that I need to overcome is being judgmental. I'm thinking like for crying out loud. I hear people that can't get jobs. They're like, I can't get a job. Like every time I pull into a McDonald's drive-through, it says now hiring. And if you have no shame in your game, you could get a job at McDonald's if you needed one. And I'm being serious.
Who's the closer? The guy standing there 8, 9, 10 hours a day, maybe. I see guys out here in Arizona, 112-degree heat, sweating their buns off, but they're there. So to them, that is a job. So who's to say? You know, and I tell you what,
it's not a job.
As you get older, you get more sensitive to people. I pay it forward. I got no problem paying it forward. I got no problem helping somebody if I have to. It is what it is.
I don't know, man. With that stuff, I mean, I just feel compelled at certain. I can tell when someone's bogus and when someone's not. You know. And I see the same guys panhandling every single week. And I'm like, dude, McDonald's, Burger King. I mean, I'm one step of working at McDonald's for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I have no shame in my game. I'm not scared to work. So the reality of it is like, if you're standing there for a week, 2 weeks, a month at the same spot, dude, get a clue.
That's a drop window. But remember this. They're not stupid. Remember the story about the married man who got dressed up in his 3-piece suit every day with his leather briefcase, and he went to work, kissed his wife and child goodbye, and when he got to work, he went in the bathroom, he took off all of his suits and all the good stuff, put his panhandler clothes on, panhandled on Wall Street every day and made over $200,000 a year, and his wife didn't even know.
Yeah, there you go.
So who's to say that the guy on the street maybe doesn't want to work at McDonald's because he's doing so much better on that corner while you feel sorry for him, but he's laughing all the way to the bank.
I'm bantering. We're bantering here. We got to get people in the Christmas spirit. Tell me some Christmas jokes for crying out loud, Ron Fox. Give me the Christmas mood here. Tell me some funny. Make me laugh. We're going off the deep end here, making people depressed.
What the Christmas elves learn in school? I don't know.
What they learn?
The alphabet. I mean, seriously, let's keep going. I'm putting my head down because I don't want you to know anything else. I mean, if athletes get athletes, what do astronauts get?
What?
Mistletoe. Hey, Merry Christmas.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
Oh, I got to do everything.
He's like covering his chest.
Why does Santa Claus have 3 gardens?
Why?
So he can ho, ho, ho. That's why. I mean, come on.
Hey.
You think Christmas, you can figure these out. Oh, God. Oh, my God. What?
Oh, wait a minute. We got a caller here. And it looks like from the 205 area code, it is our man, Bubba Bo Beard. Let's check him out and see if it's Bubba Bo Beard. Let's see. Is this Bubba Bo Beard?
Hey, this is Bubba Bo Beard from Nelson Junction, Alabama. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Bubba.
Oh, slow down. Hey, how you doing?
What's wrong with a white trash Christmas?
There's nothing wrong with a white trash Christmas. I mean, are you in your trailer right now? Got the lights from 1970 going and the car hanging from the tree? How's that going for you?
Perry Como stereo.
I'm sitting in my pickup truck. I don't good section inside the house.
Yeah?
I got one of them aluminum Christmas trees that interferes with my phone.
The aluminum Christmas tree.
Them aluminum Christmas trees.
Yeah.
Remember? Wow.
You still working at Walmart as a greeter?
Do what?
Are you still working at Walmart as a greeter?
No, I think I'm going to have to really think about finding a job. I'm on food stamps and my boy's on food stamps.
Must be proud.
Out that Taco Bell don't take food stamps.
Taco Bell's got that.
Go to work. Hey, if Ron Fox is going to get me something for Christmas, you know what I want him to send me?
2 front teeth.
Fox, am I on your short list for Christmas this year?
You are on my short list, actually. You absolutely are. I've got a couple wife beaters that I outgrew, and I was going to send them to you.
There could be a dress on Bubba Bo Beard.
What I really want? I want something I can wear and something I can play with. A pair of pants with a hole in the pocket.
There you go. That's right. Stick your hand in the pocket. You felt crazy before you stuck your hand in the pocket. Then you did that and felt nuts. I know that joke.
You know, I maybe I should talk.
Hey, but tell y'all something. Can
Okay.
I give you a little hint about this Christmas shopping? If you'll listen to me, you might learn something.
Okay, we'll learn something real nice.
Okay, people wait till after Christmas to get the good deals, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Yep.
Or they stand in line at Walmart, stand in line, find all them people getting all that DNA on them from who knows where
Yeah. Yeah.
to try to save $10. Now, this is what I do.
Okay.
I buy candy, Halloween goods the day after Halloween
Yeah.
and give it out for Christmas.
Okay.
Okay. And then, you should buy. You should get a good signal.
After Halloween for your Christmas gifts.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, and I got to ask Ron Fox something. I was looking on his page about that lizard.
Yeah, but we're here talking about Christmas now on Jeff's show, so let's talk about our personal endeavors on Facebook off there to show to be courtesy to everybody else, please.
What?
That's so nice of you right now. Just stay on topic if you would. Okay.
I was just reminded me of my ex-wife. I know how them lizard people are. But anyway, I thought I'd call in and wish y'all a Merry Christmas.
God bless you, man.
Just remember, it's Christmas in Dixie, and I'm going to get back to listening to your show.
Bubba, always a pleasure for you calling, man.
A lot of fun. I'm still
Always a
waiting
pleasure.
to be big in Scotland.
Hey, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Let my fans see how y'all look like the line again, please.
All right. If Stephen Haywood can, producer extraordinary of Wizard of Broadcast Magic, can find that picture of Bubba Beard looking like the lion from Wizard of Oz, you can pull it up
versus
your fans, Bubba. And Bubba, I went to Walmart in Birmingham and you weren't there greeting me. I'm disappointed. Until next time, Bubba Beard, thanks for the support. We love you, and you are a comedy genius.
Bubba Bolger.
God.
Oh, he got cut off. Look at that. God, UFOs. All right. So how are we doing on time? All right. We need to take a quick break. We went over, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Nice.
You know, it's tough when no one's hiring. I mean, Bigfoot shows are just non-existent on TV anymore. I need work. This is some of my highlight reel best moments of me playing Bigfoot. So if you have a movie or you're, need a Bigfoot, I'm your guy. This was one of my serious roles where I played Bigfoot, and it's called The Stop and Stare. It takes a lot of talent to pull this off, a lot. Classic walk and stare at the camera, a lot of talent. This was only one take. It did not retake anything. Total pro. When you hire me, I can do this in one take, easy. And this is my classic run with the football, bounce the head up one time. Very hard to do, but like I said, I'm the pro to get the job done.
GoDaddy.
All right. Hey, everybody. Ranch Fox right here with Jeff Adams, who is actually on the porcelain throne, as it were. And we'd like to remind you again, a special thanks to one of our sponsors, GoDaddy. Get yourself a domain. Save some big money, $1.99 domains. When you go there, use promo code Jeff199 and get yourself a domain, such as www.wiseandjeffback.com. All right. So once again, it's the White Trash Christmas special here on the Jeff Adams Show.tv. And, talking about Christmas, we tell a few jokes. We talk about tipping at Christmas. We do a few things. And, of course, one of the things that Jeff and I talked about was Christmas movies. And whether you're in the chat room or you want to call in, tell us one of your best or favorite Christmas movies along the way. And when I tell you mine are going to be movies that had some type of a Christmas theme in the movie. They may not have been the nicest movies in the world, but they had something to do with Christmas in the movie itself. So while others are out there going, oh, well, I liked It's a Wonderful Life, or I liked Miracle on 34th Street. Yeah, you and about 95% of the population. And the other 5% of the population like different movies. So if you're in the chat room, type in some of yours, like a Christmas themed movie that I personally liked back in, 1988, I believe, when it first came out. No, it was 1990. Macaulay Culkin. Home Alone.
Home Alone. There you go.
Christmas Eve. Right? Christmas Eve. And I don't know about you, Jeff, but I mean, classic stuff out there. In 2000, Jim Carrey, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, one of my favorites. And, where he got to steal all the gifts as the Grinch from all the people in Whoville. And, of course, Jim Carrey, being the animated character that he is, he's an awesome guy. Another Christmas movie Christmas theme that you may not think is out there. Bad Santa, Billy Bob Thornton, right?
Yeah.
Christmas, right?
Killed that one, too.
And my favorite of all time, 2003, Elf, Will Ferrell. So those are some of my Christmas theme movies, and one that you probably don't think about, and that would be Die Hard, all the way back in 1988, where, if you remember, terrorists smashed and started the movie wrecking a Christmas Eve party. So anything with Christmas to do, some of my favorite movies. But I probably think that's not what you were looking for, but that's what I think of when I think movies and Christmas.
I think my old time, and this is where, hey, I'm married, in fact, I like women and I'm married. I got a tattoo of a ring on my finger. But
when
I say this, my top number one is actually we'll get to I'll do the top three. Number three is probably, Elf. Number two is, I don't know if this classifies into a movie, probably not, because it was a CBS short, was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Okay.
So if we got to find something else, I'll find something else. But number one was actually a 70s Scrooge the musical.
Yeah.
That I love it. Albert Finney, played Scrooge, and it's probably the best Scrooge that I've ever seen ever. My favorite all-time Christmas classic. I watch it every single year, throw it in the DVD player, and I sing all the songs. And actually, it's on my bucket list. It's like, hey, I'm not, I've got gay friends, but I'm not gay, but I would love to be in Scrooge the musical, play any part. I know every single part. So next year, maybe I'll do that. Knock it off my bucket list, get in a local theater and do a Scrooge musical or something.
There you go.
What's Steven doing? Is he in iTunes or something?
I don't know. I mentioned to you Bruce Willis' Die Hard 1988. What did they have to do with Christmas besides the terrorist? One of the funniest scenes is when they were in the limo and they were banging rap music on the radio, and Bruce Willis is like, "Hey, put on some Christmas music." He says, "This is Christmas music. That's Christmas in Hollis, man. That's Christmas in Hollis. That's one of the top Christmas rap songs ever."
We can't play it right now because we put it back on YouTube. They'll ban us and say we're copyright infringement.
Yeah, you see some people sharing it. They like The Wizard of Oz, A Christmas Story, of course, the four-legged lamp. That's right.
Yeah, that's always classic. And I think Ted Turner actually made that a Christmas classic. If it wasn't for Ted Turner playing that on TBS for many, many years, I don't think it'd be that much of a Christmas classic. He plays it for starting on Christmas Eve, 24 hours all the way into Christmas. Is that correct?
Right. Straight through, nonstop action.
Just shoot your eye out, kid.
Anything, of course, he's not there anymore, but that all started back when he was still with Jane Fonda, and anything to stay away from her. So I know what I can do. I can run something for 24 hours or maybe longer.
I got to go to work. Got to go to the studio.
Exactly.
Someone's got to push the button.
We talk about the movies. What about the Christmas gifts too? I mean, Christmas time. I was so guilty when I was little of my Christmas gift at 6'10". I used to walk a couple miles every Christmas, even if there was 2-3 foot of snow on the ground. And I would go to all my friends' houses, and they would wait for me to come in and put the star on the top of the tree. It was a ritual every year. When's Ray coming by? I was 6'8" in high school. When's Ray coming by and putting the star on top of the tree? And I bet you there was 20, 25 people I went to like clockwork every single year. That was my gift to them. But as far as Christmas gifts, when I was smaller, my dad and my grandfather every year always got Old Spice. I probably did that 10 years in a row. Old Spice. And of course, I always got socks and underwear from many, many people because, well, Ray, you're so big, it's hard to buy for you. So I could always expect to be stocked up with socks and underwear for the next 3 years.
I think the only thing good for Old Spice these days, if you're married or you're not married, is just throwing it on your unit if you didn't have time to take a shower or something. Just like, hey, Old Spice, there you go.
I don't know about that. I'm pretty so just make sure it's bleach.
Old Spice. I mean, Old Spice, it was just like you get Old Spice from your grandmother or something. You just like look at it. But when you were like 11 or 12 years old, you thought it was a junk. Like you would just like cake that stuff on.
I'm a little older than you. Back then they had colognes like Montreal. And Montreal mixes with a man's body chemistry, so it smelled different on every guy, supposedly. and English leather and Jade East.
English leather, I remember that. Oh my gosh.
Well, I had them all. I was the sweetest. I had it all. But when I was in high school, I thought I was pimp. Those high school dances. I wonder what Ray's going to smell like this week.
He's going to sound like he's going to smell like the homeless alcoholic with English leather.
English leather. And
if I put this on, they won't smell the alcohol at all.
Many of them. Halston, I think, was Z80 or Z20 or Z10 or whatever it was. But if it was on the shelf at the drugstore, I got it. Like today where you can get the Britney Spears or the.
Bubba says, I guess in Alabama, he's saying in a chat room, some women still like the Old Spice. Well,
yeah, sure. And ironically, it's the old women. So yeah, it's great. It's like Old Spice.
The Old Spice, Bubba.
You bring me back to a time when I was younger. I was younger, I tell you. Now it's Old Spice.
Since this is the last show, we're talking about the holidays, and if you're Jewish or you're Muslim, whatever, you celebrate some type of holiday, right? So most people celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah. You're Jewish, whatnot, but we're talking about New Year's. I think everybody celebrates New Year's. I mean, there's no religious difference with New Year's. And I was just talking to my wife this morning about New Year's, and I can't stand New Year's. I don't know what it is about New Year's. I guess when you're a 20-something or you're a teenager, you're thinking of New Year's. Maybe I'll meet the one. Maybe I'll meet the one. I'll meet my wife, or you go out and get smashed on New Year's or whatever. But I'm just not into New Year's. I think as New Year's, it's depressing because you got to take down the Christmas stuff. I think the day after Christmas, I say, hey, let's take down the Christmas tree stuff. I don't want to see it anymore. Let's just focus on this new coming year. And I get really discouraged. And, when you have kids and you don't drink and you don't get drunk all the time, New Year's is just kind of like, this sucks. And especially sucks now that Dick Clark's not here. I mean, Dick Clark was my he was my company.
Yeah.
I don't get New Year's, man. You kiss, you think about all the things you didn't do when you get older. Look at all these grays, I'm getting older. You think about all the things the mistakes you made, what I could have done better, why do I have a Band-Aid on my finger? You think all these things,
Right. Yeah. Ryan Seacrest, he's going to be the young guy now that with the perfect skin that's going to just, hopefully his longevity will be as good as Dick Clark. But, when I was younger and crazier in college, I never had a girlfriend New Year's, man. I'd hit all the bars and I'd go to the bar that had the most amount of single hotties because at midnight I got to kiss all of them and I made sure that they all got to say Happy New Year to me. And then nowadays of my age, it's like, what happens when the new year hits? What's coming around again when the new year hits? Another birthday. Oh, okay. Well, I locked in. I'm like Jack Benny. I locked in at 39 years old. That's where it starts. That's where it stops. And that's where it's always going to be as long as I'm around. But I'll tell you.
Do you have any pictures of you taking taking pictures of kissing with these young hotties. I'm thinking of my marriage picture, me kissing my wife. I'm 6'5" and she's 5'8". I look like the headless horseman. I'm in a suit jacket, you know, my bow tie, and you don't even see my head because I have to bend down so far because I'm so tall.
I don't have pictures to show you here, but I also, you know, Bubba will appreciate this. I always had Old Spice on my belt buckle or right in the center of my chest where those girls would appreciate the nice smell. But, you know, nowadays, when I think about New Year's and getting older and they show Times Square, what happens at midnight? What do you see drop at midnight?
You see all the horrible pop artists.
But I mean, what's the main thing that happens in Times Square? What drops at midnight? The big
balls.
ones. Exactly. And that's the same thing as getting older. So I'm depressed.
There goes our syndication deal in Virginia. No, if we lost that, we probably lost that earlier from my comment.
That's actually a very normal, a physiological thing that happens to a human body. And make no mistake, girls get facelifts. I was just wondering.
Yeah, you know, my I told you I was going to lunch with my pastor yesterday, and he actually asked me this. He goes,
segue, by the way, there. Yeah.
He goes, "Are you really going through midlife crisis, Jeff?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am. I'm trying to you know, make comedy of it a little bit in what I say, but yeah, I think I am." And when I think of New Year's, I don't know. I mean, I'm excited for Christmas, but after Christmas, there's like that, you know, there's these days where, you know, in between New Year's, you're just kind of like, you know, you just kind of.
It's your mortality. You start looking at things differently, and yeah, you start noticing things, the people that were here and people that are gone, and this and that and the other. It's your mortality. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not looking for New Year's.
Welcome to the next phase of life, my friend.
I think the biggest New Year's party we had before our first son was born, we had this huge party at our house when we actually used to live in Orlando, you know, and we always talk about that. Oh, that's probably the best New Year's, and it probably was. Not to get doom and gloomy like having kids. I'm so happy that I have kids and all the decisions I made, but it's just like New Year's. What do you do? I mean, there's all this pressure. I don't go out and get, you know, hammered. I don't do that. So, you know, what's the proper thing you're supposed to do? You know, and maybe my wife brought up this morning. She's like, well, maybe we just treat it like any other day. So, but you know, then you start thinking like, hey, it's New Year's. I'm not doing anything fun. You know, and you start getting depressed. What are your New Year's plans?
Well, we're probably going to go to one of the bigger casinos. We're not going to go out and get too crazy. Someplace close, you know. I get the room and the comp and all that stuff. I'm not taking her to New York City for New Year's. That's something I don't want to be. I've been involved in it, unfortunately. She's never been to New York City. We're going there again, but I'm going to take her. But I don't like the craziness anymore. I spent a lot of years in those clubs, doing promotions, DJ companies, the whole nine. So the big, you know, I'm chill now. I'm much more chill. Even though I live by the rule, I have two sayings in life. One is take the risk, and the other, life is too short to act your age. But what used to be exciting to me now, I can go out for a couple hours, and if I went to the club, and I don't even want to do that anymore because I had so many years in that. So I'll be very honest with you, on a more spiritual level, I'm thankful to be able to be on earth another year. And, you know, if you want to dig deep into your own soul and say, well, what am I going to do to be a better person? Then your goal should be to be a better person than you were yesterday. And by the end of the week or the end of the month, you're an absolutely whole new person. I have a hard time doing that. I say I'm going to do it. It lasts a couple of days. So I think now I'm becoming a little more mellow, and I care about people more. I know we all bleed the same color. I'm becoming much more tolerant with people that I thought maybe I was better, or I knew everything and there's nothing you can tell me because I'm a cocky guy and who are you? But now it's like, you know what, whether it's the homeless guy on the street or somebody making millions of dollars a year or someone on an equal plane, I feel like, you know, you got to treat everybody the same because of karma. I'm all about karma and the universe, the law of attraction, all of that stuff. To me, as we get older, you start realizing and hey, this is real stuff. You know, you put it out, it's coming back to you 2 or 3 times better or worse. So treat people right, because you know in your own mind, when you think about that stuff, you say, I wonder why this is happening to me today. Oh, maybe it's because I did this or I did that the other day. So treat people right and, you know, do the right thing. And I don't see how you can lose, but it's so much easier said than done.
So you're going to the casino, or are you guys going to go to the 4:30 buffet at the casino, or what?
Hey, they've got a big the seafood feast is kind of nice, you know. So so I can go over there and I can eat salmon, shark, sea bass. You know, I don't have to go over there and eat a bunch of fried food and pig out at a buffet. They've got some pretty good stuff over there, all high end stuff, and that's what I eat, and that's what Jen eats. You know, so you can get the nice salads and vegetables and some smoking seafood and have a good time with it. Have a couple drinks. Jen's a lightweight. I don't hardly drink at all anymore. 2 drinks. Jen's good for the night. You know, so yeah, that's probably what we're going to do, and then you know, start the new year out right. So
What are you?
Probably, man, Ranch Fox is boring now. What's that? Yeah.
No, you're doing what I used to do. You're responding to Steven. No one can hear Steven, but he's talking in our in ear. You're going like, "What's that?"
Right.
It's God talking. It's a UFO, my lord.
A guy in real time, Ron Knight, says, good behavior does not guarantee you'll be treated well. No, it sure doesn't. But it gives you a clear conscience. And another thing is, you can only control, Ron, how you react in a certain situation. You have absolutely no control how somebody else reacts, only yourself. So I agree with you, but that's how I look at it now. You know, 5-10 years ago, I would agree with you 100%, but now I realize that I cannot control how somebody else reacts. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's so
in
true.
control of myself.
You know, we got 7 minutes left. You know, we talk about dreams. You know, I'm 41 years old, and I'm finding myself, I have to re-dream. I have to rethink. You know, I'm not done. You know, I'm still young. You know, even though I have the grays, I got some experience. I look at New Year's. It's like, wow, what do I re-dream? What do I do? I mean, I'm at this transition place in my life. I left the music industry behind. You know, maybe that's why it's like, you know, laying hard on me this year. It's like, okay, I got to figure this out. What am I going to do with the rest of my life? Yes, I'm going to be a, you know, great husband. I'm going to be a great father. Those are my main priorities, but what am I going to do to make a difference? I think that's what's, you know, weighing on me. Do I, you know, like the millions of other people trying to do podcasts, what's going to set me apart? What's going to make this thing work? You know, people are challenging me. It's like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this. I'm just doing this as a hobby. I do it because it's my creative outlet. You know, I'm just trying to figure it out, man. And maybe that's probably why, you know, I'm just like looking at New Year's kind of like going, it's another year. What am I going to do that's different than everybody else?
The positive side of that is it's a challenge. You know, Jen said to me, Jen's mellowed me out. She, you know, her attitude is, you know, it doesn't matter how much money you make. Are you happy making millions of dollars? Because at the end of the day, how much time do you have to spend it? How is your health? And she said the exact same thing to me a while ago. What are you going to do to make a difference in this world? Quote, exactly. And I was stumped. I did not have an answer. I got frustrated. What are you going to do to make a difference in this world?
Yeah, that's good.
What are you going to do to make the environment better, to make your earth better? You know, what are you going to do for your fellow man? Not how much money you're going to make this year and what's the cool things that you're going to buy. So she got me out of a materialistic attitude, which I thought, you know, big boys, big toys was everything. And it means nothing if you're sick and laying in bed. And
Exactly.
all that goes away. But what are you going to do? So I guess the change that I've made is to be a little more tolerant of people. And people are saying, well, when you do your Ranch Fox show, you're not ranting and getting crazy. I get crazy with a handful of people, but, you know, it's like, you know what? These people aren't mad at me when they come in. They got issues. I'm just a vent for them. They don't know me. So, you know, when you realize at the end of the day, like I say, we all bleed the same color. And then, you know, you start noticing people, especially Facebook, makes me realize. I see somebody says, hey, I'm having a great day today. The next day, the guy says, hey, I'm going to chemotherapy. The same guy. I'm seeing things in people's lives now in the real world. Whereas, you know, Facebook and the internet, we can be anybody we want to be and everybody's happy and everybody has a great life. And then you see the stuff where the mortality kicks in again. Hey, I'm sick. Hey, I have to go in the hospital. Hey, this person died out of nowhere. That person died. As crazy as Facebook is, Facebook has kept me in check in the real world, too, in its own way.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, I look at it, you know, not to get everybody doom and gloom on Christmas spirit, but, you know, I've had two, you know, a good friend of mine's daughter struggling with leukemia, and then another friend of mine's wife struggling with leukemia, and you kind of go, wow. And they're doing well now, but you just kind of look at it, and Facebook has kept me in check as well. Just to keep everything in perspective, like, yeah, you never know where you're going to be 24 hours from here, and heck, for a minute from now. You don't know where you're going to be, where you're going to be lying. It's just you don't know. What are you going to make of your time and choose your time wisely, and how you're going to make a difference in this world? That's my goal. I don't know where this road's going to take me, but hopefully at some point on some level they can look at Jeff Adams and say, hey, you know what? He showed all his flaws, but guess what, man? He lived his life the way he should have, and hopefully it points some of the people what I believe into something much bigger than me, because I can't do life without what I believe. And a lot of people have beliefs, but I believe what I believe, and and I used to get in these argumentative debates with people, but you know what? Just much like Ron Fox, I'm tolerant, because everybody has a belief and everybody has things they believe, and it's no sense of arguing over stuff that it's going to be pointless. So the reality is, that's right, Stephen Haywood. He talked to my ear, and I always would be a Sasquatch in the end.
Yeah, that's my ex. My ex is taking shots at me. Hey, Sasquatch. But when you talk about Christmas spirit, what's wrong with the Christmas spirit? Talking about caring about our fellow man and health and living a good life. You know what? Because you know what? We're guilty. Just think about what you just said. Well, we don't mean to talk about doom and gloom. We're talking about Christmas. Well, we're not talking about retail and going out and buying gifts and everything else. We're talking about our fellow man, and we're talking about caring about each other as human beings. So there's nothing wrong. Ironically, how it kind of metamorphosized into this part of the conversation, because I went out shopping. Even though I said I do 90% on the internet, the 10% that I do go out, when I went out to the stores and the malls, my God, I see nothing but stress and anger and disrespect for your fellow man, and people giving people hand gestures and cutting people off in line and running into each other with carts and get out of my way and fighting for things. That's not the Christmas I grew up with. And the happiness, I see nothing but stress. I see people trying to buy gifts for their kids that they can't afford, so they put it on a credit card anyway. It's a mess. And, God bless, there's still families that still get together, but at the end of the day, there's just so much more stress nowadays in the holidays. And, if you can't feel it when you're out there, you're just not being observant, folks, because I sure felt it out there to the point that I just wanted to come back home and finish my shopping online.
Amazon.com, baby. We'll close with this note. Merry Christmas to everybody. And, if you're alone during the Christmas holidays, you have a rip with your family, life is too short to live it alone. The bottom line, nothing is big enough to overcome. And when it's all said and done, and hopefully if you can go out the way you want to go out and you're laying in that bed, you want to have your family around you, the people that cared about you the most. And whatever there might be a rift between you, family members or whatever, just get it right. The holidays are so much better when you have people that love you, that are around you, that you can celebrate these good holidays with. And just get it right. Don't be alone on Christmas for being stubborn is what I'm really trying to get at. So Ron Fox, Ray, thanks so much for hanging out with the White Trash Christmas special. I'm sorry, folks, that it wasn't all bubbly. We got a little emotional, but hey, that's what Christmas is all about. I just want to make sure that people are watching this podcast that they can just tune in and connect with the loved ones and be loved on Christmas and New Year's and the upcoming year of 2014. So, Ron, thanks for hanging out. Let's do this again. Let's do a show about UFOs. I'm really curious to get into this with you. We could have went off on it, but it would have ruined the White Trash Christmas special.
Yeah.
We'll save it for January. And dude, thank you so much. I got a lot of respect for you. You're a legend in internet broadcasting, doing things that people weren't doing. Now everybody's doing it. You were doing it before anybody. So props to you, my man. You get a lot of respect on my end as a broadcaster. So it's always you're a esteemed colleague in what I do. So I got a lot of respect for you. So and Stephen Haywood, Merry Christmas. Thanks for believing in the Jeff Adams Show. We'll be back in January 2014. January 13th, 2014 on the JeffAdamsShow.tv.